विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, कालच्या मागच्या व्हिडिओमध्ये आपण केपलरचे 3 लॉ पाहिले, सर्क्युलर मोशन पाहिली. आजच्या व्हिडिओमध्ये आपण याच्या पुढचे भाग पाहणार आहोत. त्यामध्ये पहिला भाग आहे न्यूटन्स युनिव्हर्सल लॉ ऑफ ग्रॅव्हिटेशन, ज्याला आपण न्यूटनचा गुरुत्वाकर्षणाचा सिद्धांत असा आपण म्हणतो, किंवा न्यूटनचा वैश्विक गुरुत्वाकर्षणाचा सिद्धांत. काय आहे हा सिद्धांत? हा सिद्धांत असं सांगतो की कोणत्याही दोन वस्तूंमध्ये गुरुत्वाकर्षण असते आणि विश्वातील प्रत्येक वस्तू इतर वस्तूला ठराविक बलाने आकर्षित करत असते. आणि हे जे बल आहे आकर्षित करण्याचं, हे त्या दोन वस्तूच्या वस्तुमानाच्या गुणाकाराशी समानुपाती असतं आणि त्या दोन वस्तूमधील अंतराच्या वर्गाच्या व्यस्तानुपाती असतं. That is, the Newton's universal law of gravitation state that every object in the universe attract every other object with a definite force, and this force is directly proportional to the product of masses of the two objects and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. Suppose these two objects M1 and M2. There is a force F acts in between these two objects, and they are kept at a distance r from each other. Newton's law of gravitation states that whatever gravitational force exists in between these two objects is directly proportional to product of their masses. Suppose mass of the first object M1, second object M2, so F is directly proportional to M1 and into M2, and it is inversely proportional to, that is, square of the distance between them. See, if r is the distance between them, so it is inversely proportional. From equation first and 2, we can write F is directly proportional to M1 and M2 and inversely proportional to, that is, r square. If you take the constant g, I can write F is equal to g M1 M2 divided by r square, where g is universal gravitational constant, where g is universal gravitational constant. तर जे काही गुरुत्व बल दोन वस्तूंमध्ये लावलं जातं ते त्या दोन वस्तूच्या वस्तुमानाच्या गुणाकाराशी समानुपाती असतं आणि त्या दोन वस्तूंमध्ये जे काही अंतर आहे त्या अंतराच्या वर्गाच्या व्यस्तानुपाती असतं, असा न्यूटनने गुरुत्वाकर्षणाचा सिद्धांत आपल्याला सांगितला. जी काय आहे, जीला आपण वैश्विक स्थिरांक असं म्हणतो किंवा युनिव्हर्सल ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल कॉन्स्टंट असं आपण म्हणतो. हाऊ टू फाइंड द व्हॅल्यू ऑफ जी? यू नो दॅट F is equal to g M1 M2 divided by r square. If you take that M1 is equal to 1 kg, M2 is equal to 1 kg, and r, that is the distance between them, is 1 meter, that is unit masses and unit distance, then you obtain, if you put the value M1 is equal to 1, M2 is equal to 1, r is equal to 1, so you will get that quantity is 1, so you obtain F is equal to g. You obtain F is equal to g. Means, how will you define that universal gravitational constant? We can define that universal gravitational constant that when we keep the unit masses at a unit distance, at that time whatever gravitational force exists in between them, that is equal to universal gravitational constant of the object. That is equal to universal gravitational constant of the object. So this is the value of G, or we can say definition of G. That is, the value of G is the gravitational force acting between two unit masses kept at a unit distance away from each other. So it is clear that suppose if you take m1, its mass double, at that time gravitational force will be double. If you take instead of m2, 2m2, so you obtain gravitational force double. If you take distance double, so there will be 2r and its square, means the gravitational force reduces by a factor 1/4. So it is clear that what is meant by gravitational force or universal law of gravitational constant, and the G that आपण त्याला म्हणतो वैश्विक गुरुत्वीय स्थिरांक. वैश्विक याच्यासाठी म्हणायचं की सर्वत्र त्याची व्हॅल्यू स्थिर असते, ती बदलत नाही. सो युनिट, what is the unit of universal gravitational constant G? Unit of universal gravitational constant G, that is, we can find that formula F is equal to Gm1 into m2 divided by r square. So from that I can find out the value of G, that is G is equal to F into r square divided by m1 into m2. You know that the SI unit of force is Newton, the unit of distance, that is the meter, r square means meter square, and product of their masses means kilogram into kilogram, that is the kilogram square. So I can write SI unit of the G is Newton meter square per kilogram square. Newton meter square per kilogram square, and its value, when you keep the value of, that is the force, all this, if you put this value, you obtain G is equal to 6.67 into 10 raised to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. That is the value of G, which is constant everywhere. So this is the unit of G, and this is the definition, and this is the Newton's universal law of gravitation. It is clear that without force there is no motion. Either it is motion in straight line or it is a uniform circular motion. For the uniform circular motion, there must be one force exerted on that object, and due to that there is a circular motion takes place. Now we are going to find magnitude of centripetal force, अभिकेंद्री बलाचे परिमाण ज्याच्या आधारे सर्क्युलर मोशन घडून येत असते. आता न्यूटननी हा ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल लॉ सिद्ध करण्याच्या अगोदर त्यांनी केपलरच्या थर्ड लॉचा उपयोग केला होता. That is the Kepler third law used by Newton in order to state the law of gravitation. How it take help of that Kepler's third law in order to state the Newton's law of gravitation? For that, suppose this is the planet and this is the sun. It is revolving around the sun. No doubt there is a one force, we call it as a centripetal force, and due to that motion of the object, that is the planet, takes place, and that motion is uniform. So any object move with a constant speed along a circular path, we call it as a uniform circular motion. So that planet perform a uniform circular motion around the sun. If m is the mass of the planet, v is the speed of that planet, r is the distance of planet between planet and sun, that is the r is the distance between, that is the planet and sun, this is the r, and F is the centripetal force which is exerted on the planet and directed toward the center of the sun. Directed toward the center of the sun. समजा यम वस्तुमानाची वस्तू ही सूर्यावर, हा ग्रह सूर्याभोवती युनिफॉर्म सर्क्युलर मोशन न फिरत आहे. त्याचा मास आपण यम गृहीत धरलेला आहे, वेलॉसिटी v मानलेली आहे, आणि त्या ठिकाणचं दोन सूर्य आणि जो भी ग्रह आहे त्याच्यामधलं अंतर आपण r मानलेलं आहे, आणि त्याच्यामध्ये जिथे जो काही अभिकेंद्री बल काम करत असतं की ज्याच्यामुळे तो ग्रह फिरतो तो f आहे असं आपण म्हणू. आता आपल्याला हे f ची किंमत काढायची आहे. एनी ऑब्जेक्ट व्हेन परफॉर्म युनिफॉर्म सर्क्युलर मोशन, द फोर्स, centripetal force, we can find out this formula, that is F is equal to m into v square divided by r. No doubt here F is the centripetal force, M is the mass of the planet, v is the speed of that planet, and r is the distance between the planet and sun. So we can find the velocity. Velocity we can find that distance covered, that distance is the circumference of that circular path, that is the 2 pi r, distance traveled divided by time taken, that is the velocity of that planet. So velocity of that planet we can find out, but we know the formula, that is F is equal to mv square upon r. I can substitute that value of v in that formula. So F is equal to m as it is, that value v is 2 pi r divided by t its square. So when you take square, that is m here, 2 square, 4 pi square, and there is a t square, and there is a pi square, t square, and r square, and there is a one more r. One r and one r get cancelled, so you obtain only here r. There is a r, no doubt there is a r. So r here and its r square, they will get cancelled, so you obtain, that is the 4m pi square r divided by t square. इथं जो आपण r चा वर्ग केला आहे, इथला जो खालचा r आहे कटतो आणि या ठिकाणी फक्त r राहतो, म्हणजे 4m पाय चा वर्ग r डिवाइडेड बाय t स्क्वेअर. याला काय करू आपण r स्क्वेअर न गुणू आणि r स्क्वेअर न भागू. When you multiply it by r square and r square, you obtain 4m pi square divided by r square, that is r cube divided, you take that t square here, so r cube divided by t square. Here 4, that r cube divided by t square, this is related to Kepler's third law. This r is the distance between sun and planet. T is the time period of revolution of the planet. There, period of revolution means time taken to move along a circular path for one complete rotation. So r cube divided by t square, But according to Kepler's third law, T square divided by R cube is equal to K. T square divided by R cube is equal to K. That is the constant. So I can take here R cube divided by T square. Here T square divided by R cube. So I can write 4m pi square divided by R square, and that K here. So 4m pi square divided by K, all these quantities are constant. You obtain a constant number 4 into m into pi square divided by R. So that is the constant. So F is equal to 1 upon R square and that constant quantity. If you remove that constant quantity, you get F is, that is the centripetal force which is responsible for circular motion of a planet around the sun, is inversely proportional to the distance of the planet from the sun. Distance of the planet from the sun. So it is clear that Newton's used that centripetal force, and Newton's conclude that centripetal force, which force acting on a planet and is responsible for circular motion of a planet, is inversely proportional to square of the distance between planet and sun. So Newton's identified this force with the force of gravity, and hence postulate the inverse square law of gravitation. That is again R square used by Newton by using that equation. Means in order to state the Newton's universal law of gravitation, Newton used that Kepler's third law, and using that Kepler's third law, he stated that Newton's universal law of gravitation. It is clear that gravitation force is much weaker than other forces. Gravitational force exists in between two friends. Suppose two friends seated, one having 75 kg weight and other having 80. So if you know their weights or masses, you know the value of G is fixed. You know they are seated 1 meter away from each other. So you can find out the gravitational force exists in between these two students, and that force is very weak, that is the 4.002 into 10 raised to the power -7. So -7 indicates that it is a very weak force, and due to the friction they are not attracted towards each other. If friction is 0, at that time they will attract towards each other, means that student attract towards the 80 kg student. So it is clear that from that we can say gravitational force exists, and due to that gravitational force there are various phenomena takes place for the formation of low and high tides. Is the one of the example of gravitational force exists in between the moon and earth. So now we are going to study what is mean by low and high tides, ज्याला आपण समुद्राच्या बाबतीमध्ये पाहत असताना समुद्राला भरती ओहोटी येणं हे कसं होतं, याला कोणती गोष्ट कारणीभूत आहे, तर या ठिकाणी ग्रॅव्हिटेशन हाच भाग महत्त्वाचा आहे, आणि या ठिकाणी ग्रॅव्हिटेशन हे कारणीभूत ठरतं. कसं ते आपण पाहू. The formation of low and high tides, that is the low and high tides. Suppose this is the earth. And there is a moon which is revolving around the earth. Which is revolving around the earth. This is the path of the evolution of the moon. So, due to the gravitational force exerted by moon on the earth, there is a formation of low and high tides takes place. Means water on the earth, it is attracted towards the moon, and there is a formation of low and high tides takes place. So this is the earth and this is the water level of the sea. How it is takes place? This is the earth. You know that आता एका किनाऱ्यावरील समुद्राच्या पाण्याची पातळी दिवसातून नियमित कालावधीत 2 वेळा वाढते व कमी होते. अशी पृथ्वीच्या वेगवेगळ्या स्थानावर भरती ओहोटीची वेळ वेगवेगळी असते. ज्या ठिकाणी पाण्याची पातळी वाढते त्याला आपण म्हणतो भरती, ज्याला आपण म्हणतो हाय टाइड्स. आणि ज्या ठिकाणी पाण्याची पातळी कमी असते त्याला काय म्हणतो आपण लो टाइड्स. सो फॉर्मेशन ऑफ हाय टाइड्स अँड लो टाइड्स टेक्स प्लेस due to the gravitational force exerted by the moon on the earth. Gravitational force exerted on the earth by the moon. So the level of the sea water at any given location along seashore increases and decreases twice a day at regular interval, and high and low tides occur at different times at different places. So the level of water in the sea changes because of the gravitational force exerted by the moon. At the 2 places on the earth at 90 degree from the place of high tides, there is a formation of low tides takes place. So it is the place of high tides 90 degree, there is a place of low tides. At the same time, इथं जर भरती आलेली असेल तर पृथ्वीच्या दुसऱ्या भागावर या ठिकाणी ओहोटी आलेली असते. तर आपण समुद्राला जी भरती ओहोटी येण्याचे प्रकार पाहत असतो. ठराविक कालावधीनंतर जी काही भरती ओहोटी येत असते ही याला कोणती गोष्ट कारणीभूत असते तर याला चंद्राने पृथ्वीवर जे काही गुरुत्वबल लावलेलं आहे त्यामुळे पाण्याच्या पातळीत वाढ होते, त्याला आपण भरती असं म्हणतो. आणि ज्या ठिकाणी समुद्राच्या पाण्याच्या पातळीत कमी आपल्याला जाणवतं त्या ठिकाणी ओहोटी निर्माण झाली असं आपण या ठिकाणी म्हणतो. सो देर आर व्हेरियस इफेक्ट ऑफ ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल फोर्स. If you study the earth gravitational force, that is the earth gravitational force, earth also exert a gravitational force, it is clear. Suppose I take a one chalk piece and thrown vertically upward. What happens? You observe. When I thrown that chalk piece in the upward direction, what happens? Will the velocity of the chalk piece thrown vertically upward remains constant? So answer will be no. There is a change in the velocity of the object which is thrown vertically upward. How will it change? It changes as the time increases, its velocity goes on decreasing, and at a particular height its velocity becomes zero, and from that, due to the earth gravitational force, that chalk piece comes towards the earth. So why doesn't the stone move up all the time? When I thrown that stone or chalk piece, it move up all the times because there is a gravitational force exerted on that chalk piece or stone which pull that chalk piece towards the downward direction. आपण एखादी वस्तू वर फेकतो तेव्हा काय काय होत असतं? त्या वस्तूच्या वेगामध्ये बदल होत असतो. बदल कोणता होत असतो? त्या वस्तूचा वेग हळूहळू कमी होत जातो आणि एका विशिष्ट स्थितीवर तो शून्य होतो. ॲट ए पर्टिक्युलर हाईट इट विल बिकम अ झिरो अँड फ्रॉम दॅट इट कम्स टुवर्ड्स द अर्थ. आता हे का इकडे येतो? कारण या ठिकाणी पृथ्वीचं ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल फोर्स म्हणजे गुरुत्व बल त्याच्यावर लागतं. त्यामुळे फेकलेल्या वस्तूचा वेग कमी होतो आणि ती हळूहळू पुन्हा जमिनीकडे येत असते. हे सगळं कशामुळे घडत असतं? तर ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल फोर्स which is exerted and on that object and which is directed toward the center of the earth, so that stone or chalk piece comes vertically downward due to the gravitational force. So according to Newton law of gravitation, every object attract every other object with a gravitational force. Means when moon revolve around the earth at that time, earth exert a gravitational force on the moon. Artificial satellite when revolve around the earth exert gravitational force on that artificial satellite. किंवा आपण त्याला म्हणतो कृत्रिम उपग्रह जेव्हा पृथ्वीभोवती फिरतो तेव्हा त्याच्यावर पृथ्वीचं गुरुत्व बल ज्याला आपण सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्स म्हणत होतो ते लागलं जातं आणि त्यामुळे चंद्र हा पृथ्वीभोवती फिरतो आणि मग कृत्रिम उपग्रह सुद्धा पृथ्वीभोवती फिरतात. प्रश्न असा निर्माण होतो, पृथ्वी त्यांच्यावर गुरुत्व बल लावते तर ते पृथ्वीकडे का ओढले जात नाही? ते ओढले जात नाहीत कारण त्यांना एक पृथ्वीच्या भोवती फिरण्याची एक प्रकारची वर्तुळाकार गती त्याला प्राप्त झालेली असते. सर्क्युलर मोशनमुळं ते पृथ्वीकडे खेचले जात नाही. म्हणजे फिरण्याचं जे काम होत असतंय ते गुरुत्व बलामुळं होत असतं. येत का नाही ते पृथ्वीकडे? कारण त्यांना एक विशिष्ट सर्क्युलर मोशन किंवा व्हेलॉसिटी प्राप्त असल्यामुळे ते आपल्याकडे येत नाही. आता एखादी वस्तू मी जेव्हा वर फेकतो वेग कमी होत जातो. एखादी वस्तू जेव्हा मी जमिनीकडे सोडतो तेव्हा तिचा वेग हा वाढत जातो. जशी जशी वस्तू उंचावरून जमिनीकडे येऊ लागते तिचा वेग वाढत जातो. म्हणजे विशिष्ट काळामध्ये त्याच्या वेगामध्ये बदल होत असतो. मग एक तुम्ही 9वीला शिकलेले वेग बदलाच्या दरास एक शब्द दिलेला आहे त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो? वेग बदलाच्या दराला त्वरण असं म्हणतो. आणि पृथ्वी वस्तूवर जे काही बल लावत असते त्या बलामुळे त्या वस्तूमध्ये त्वरण घडून येत असतं. यालाच आपण अर्थ ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल ॲक्सेलरेशन असं म्हणतो. अर्थ ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल ॲक्सेलरेशन. मराठीमध्ये याला आपण म्हणतो पृथ्वीचे गुरुत्व त्वरण. पृथ्वीचे गुरुत्व त्वरण म्हणजे पृथ्वीनी लावलेल्या गुरुत्व बलामुळे वस्तूंच्या वेगामध्ये जो बदल होतो, त्या बदलामुळे जे त्वरण निर्माण होतं त्याला आपण म्हणतो पृथ्वीचे गुरुत्व त्वरण. जेव्हा वस्तू मी वरून खाली सोडतो त्यावेळी तिचा हळू जशी जशी पृथ्वीकडे येत जाईल तिचा वेग हा वाढत जातो. म्हणजे या ठिकाणचा वेग आपण पकडला u, या ठिकाणचा v पकडला तर या ठिकाणी निर्माण झालं ऍक्सेलरेशन. म्हणजेच काय तयार झालं ऍक्सेलरेशन, ज्याला आपण a ने डिनोट करतो. आता हे गुरुत्व त्वरण ऍक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रॅव्हिटी इट इज डिनोटेड g. It is denoted by g. Earth gravitational acceleration or acceleration due to earth gravitational force or acceleration due to gravity is denoted by g. It is a vector quantity. You know vector and scalar quantities which have magnitude and direction, we call it as a vector, and we can represent that quantity only with the help of magnitude, we call it as a scalar. So acceleration g, that is the earth gravitational acceleration, is denoted by g, and it is always directed towards the center of the earth. G is always directed towards the center of the earth. Now we are going to find out the value of g on the surface of earth. The value of g on the surface of earth. Value of g on the surface of earth. You know the formula, that is the F is equal to G m, that is the mass of the earth, n mass of the object, and square of the distance between the objects. Suppose that distance is r, so it's r square. You know one more formula, that is you view number 1. Second formula I can write F is equal to m into g, that is the mass into acceleration. From first and second, from equation first and second, I can write that is m into g is equal to Gmm divided by r square. So this m get cancelled. So g is equal to Gm divided by r square. So this is the value of r. So where any object on the surface of the earth, as compared to radius of the earth, the distance is very small. So I can take small r is equal to radius of the earth. So I can write the g is equal to Gm divided by r square. So what that formula indicate that whatever acceleration produced in the object due to the earth gravitational force is not depend upon the mass of the object, because here g is the universal gravitational constant, m is the mass of the earth, r is the radius of the earth. So it is depend on these three factors, not depend on the object in which there is an acceleration produced. Suppose mass of that object is m, so it is not depend upon the angle. That is the mass of the object, it depends upon g, n and r. पृथ्वीच्या गुरुत्व बलामुळे एखाद्या वस्तूमध्ये जे गुरुत्व त्वरण निर्माण होतं, हे गुरुत्व त्वरण त्या वस्तूच्या वस्तुमानावर अवलंबून नसतं. वस्तूच्या वस्तुमानावर अवलंबून नसतं. त्यामुळे जेव्हा दोन वस्तू मी खाली सोडतो, आता जेव्हा हा एक छोटा चॉकपीस आहे, हा मोठा चॉकपीस आहे, आता आपल्याला असं वाटतं हा ह्याचं वस्तुमान जास्त आहे, या चॉकपीसचं वस्तुमान कमी आहे. आता जेव्हा सोडल्यानंतर पूर्वी लोकांचे असे समज होते की जड वस्तू लवकर खाली पडेल आणि हलकी वस्तू पुन्हा खाली पडेल. पण गॅलिलिओने पिसाच्या मनोऱ्यावर चढून लोखंडाचे 2 गोळे घेतले, एक किलोचा एक आणि 10 किलोचा एक, आणि लोकांना त्यांनी ती 2 गोळे एकाच वेळी जमिनीवर सोडून दाखवले. तेव्हा लोकांनी पाहिलं ते दोन्ही गोळे एकाच वेळी जमिनीवर पडले. याचा अर्थ त्याच्यामध्ये जे त्वरण निर्माण झालं वरून खाली येत असताना गुरुत्व बलामुळं, हे त्वरण त्या वस्तूच्या वस्तुमानावर अवलंबून नव्हतं, तर त्यामुळे त्या दोन्हीही गोळ्यांचा जमिनीवर पोहोचण्याचा कालावधी समान. म्हणजे वॉट एव्हर ॲक्सेलरेशन प्रोड्यूस्ड इन दॅट ऑब्जेक्ट डिपेंड अपॉन द मास ऑफ द अर्थ, जी universal gravitational constant and radius of the earth. Now the value of g changes or fixed on the surface of the earth. We can find out the value of g n divided by r square. Value of g is fixed, mass of the earth is fixed, radius of the earth is fixed. So if you substitute all these values, that is the value of g is 6.67 into 10 raised to the power minus 11. Mass of the earth is 6 into 10 raised to the power 24 kilogram. Radius of the earth is 6.4 into 10 raised to the power 6, it's a square. So if you calculate by keeping these value, the value of g on the earth obtain 9.77. 9.77, that is the value of g, that is the acceleration due to gravity. The unit of gravity is meter per second square. The value of g on the surface of the earth is 9.77 meter per second square. Can we say the value of g everywhere on the earth same, or it is changes as we move in the upward direction, or if it changes we move inside the earth toward the center of the earth? It is clear that value of g changes as the distance changes. So first case is that, what is that value change? First we consider variation in value of g on the surface of earth. Variation in the value of g. You know that earth, this is the earth. You know that value of g is not same everywhere because earth is not completely spherical. If earth completely spherical, then radius of the earth is same everywhere. So there is no change in the value of g. That is, the value of g is depend upon g and divided by r square. If r is same, there is no change in the value of g, but the shape of the earth is not completely spherical due to the rotation. The earth bludges at the equator. सर्क्युलर मोशन मुळे या इक्वेटरच्या ठिकाणी, विषुववृत्ताच्या ठिकाणी आपली पृथ्वी थोडी फुगी जाईल. At the pole it flatters. At the pole it is a flatter. थोडं ध्रुवाच्या ठिकाणी चपटी. याचा परिणाम काय होतो? रेडियस मध्ये बदल होतो. या दोन ठिकाणच्या रेडियस मध्ये बदल होतो आणि रेडियस मध्ये बदल झाल्यामुळे आम्हाला ज्या व्हॅल्यू मिळतात इक्वेटरवर आणि पोलवर मिळणाऱ्या व्हॅल्यू ह्या वेगवेगळ्या असतात. ॲट द पोल द व्हॅल्यू ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रॅव्हिटी इज 9.832 meter per second square, and at the equator slightly less than the pole because radius increases at the equator, and its value will be 9.78 meter per second square. Its value changes because r changes. Earth is not completely spherical, and due to that there is a change in the variation in the value of g on the surface of the earth takes place. In order to perform the experiment on the surface of the earth, we take the mean of these two quantities, that is the 9.8 meter per second, that is the value of g on the surface of the earth. Value of g on the surface of the earth. Similarly, as the height increases, when you move in the upward direction from the surface of the earth, means no doubt this r changes. So when you move in the upward direction, means this distance increases, no doubt value of g decreases as we move in the upward direction. जेव्हा आपण पृथ्वीच्या पृष्ठभागापासून वर जातो तेव्हा साहजिकच आहे त्या वस्तूमधलं म्हणजे हे r वाढत जातं आणि r वाढल्यामुळे आपल्याला काय फरक पडतो? g ची व्हॅल्यू कमी होत जाते. आपण जर पृथ्वीच्या पृष्ठभागापासून 36.6 किलोमीटर अंतरावर असाल तर त्या ठिकाणी 9.77 मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वेअर एवढं आपल्याला या ठिकाणी g चं मूल्य मिळतं. 400 किलोमीटरवर असाल तर 8.7, 35,700 वर असाल तर तिथं फारच कमी म्हणजे 0.225 मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वेअर व्हॅल्यू ऑफ द g. So it is clear that value of g is not same everywhere on the surface of the earth due to the shape of the earth, and as we move in the upward direction the value of g goes on decreasing. What happens when you move inside the earth? When you move, change with depth. Value of g change with depth. आपण या पृथ्वीच्या मध्ये जाऊ तेव्हा ह्याच्यावर प्रश्न पडतो का? मग पृथ्वीच्या केंद्राकडे जात असताना g चे मूल्य कमी होते. का कमी होते? समजा पृथ्वीचा केंद्रबिंदू आहे, सेंटर ऑफ द अर्थ. No doubt when here that distance is r and whatever mass of the earth m is constant. So suppose you are at this position, so that distance decreases. So r decreases. Suppose small r, suppose this small r, and that mass reduced, so m is also decreases. Again you are this position, again r and m decreases, again r and m decreases. When you are at the center of the earth, what will happen? At the center of the earth, you know that g is equal to gm divided by r square. M at the center, M will become 0 and R is also become 0. So R is also 0, M is also 0. No doubt, value of G at the center of the earth 0. So when we move inside the earth, the value of G decreases. When we move up from the surface of the earth, value of G decreases. When we move from pole to equator, the value of G changes. It is highest at the pole and lowest at the equator. So in this way, value of G changes. So that value of G, using that we can find out the weight of the object. We can find out the weight of the object. So there are two quantities, mass and weight. Mass and weight. What is the weight? Whatever earth gravitational force exists on an object, we call it as a weight of that object. So force with which earth attract the object, we call it as a weight. And I can write weight W, that is the force, is equal to mass of the object into acceleration due to gravity. You obtain weight. What is the mass? Amount of matter present in the object. Amount of matter present in the object. We call it as a mass. So the value of mass same everywhere. Mass is same everywhere, but weight changes place to place. ठिकाण बदललं की वेट बदलतं. पोलवर वेट वेगळं मिळणार, इक्वेटरवर वेट वेगळं मिळणार, चंद्रावर वेट वेगळं मिळणार, कारण त्याचं जी ची व्हॅल्यू वेगळी आहे. चंद्राचं मास वेगळं आहे, चंद्राचं रेडियस वेगळी आहे. मग जी ची व्हॅल्यू तुम्हाला तुम्हाला जी ची व्हॅल्यू वेगळी मिळणार. मग F इज इक्वल टू M इंटू जी. जी बदलल्यामुळं वेट पण चंद्रावर बदलणार. द acceleration due to gravity on the moon is 1/6 of acceleration due to gravity of the earth. So mass, there is no matter, there is no change. Mass is same everywhere, but change in the weight takes place due to the change in the value of G. So mass is the measure of inertia. मासाच्या आधारे आपण इनर्शिया मोजतो. जेवढं मास जास्त, त्याला मराठीमध्ये आपण जडत्व म्हणतो, तेवढं त्या वस्तूचं जडत्व असतं. जास्त वस्तुमानाच्या वस्तूचं जडत्व जास्त असतं. तिला सरकवण्यासाठी जास्त फोर्सची आवश्यकता असते. So inertia is measure, mass is measure of inertia. Unit of mass is kg, that is the mks, in cgs, gram, and unit of weight, that is the newton. Weight is newton, because what is weight? Weight is nothing but it is the force exerted by the earth on that object. So weight represent in the form of force. So therefore SI unit of weight is Newton, and it is denoted by N. So in this way, there are various questions in your book. Will your weight remains constant as you go above the surface of the earth? Answer will be no. When we move or go above the surface of the earth, value of g changes, so that's why weight is also changes. या ठिकाणी आपण थोडंसं थांबून असे अनेक प्रश्न आपल्याला विचारले जाऊ शकतात. आणखी एक प्रश्न आहे, सपोज यू आर स्टँडिंग ऑन ए टॉल लॅडर. If your distance from the center of the earth is 2r, what will be your weight? What will be your weight? So if you put the value, that is the w is equal to m into g. So you can substitute the value of g, that is the gm divided by r, that is gm divided by r square. In distance of that person double, so you substitute here 2r, it's a square, so m into gm divided by r square and 1 by 4, so its weight reduces by 1 by 4. पृथ्वीच्या केंद्रापासून दुप्पट अंतरावर जर तुम्ही असाल रेडियसच्या, तर वजनामध्ये किती फरक पडेल, 1/4 त्या वस्तूचं वजन हे कमी होईल. इथं आपण